The summit should have begun by now. We don't have much time. And once our legal privileges are suspended, I won't be able to help. In fact, I'll be forced to restrain you.
Ugh.
I know. If the military wants to avoid nukes and goes for a surgical strike on this facility, what would they likely use?
Probably a phased particle beam from one of the attack satellites.
Wow.
Again, Akira.
Yeah.
Phased particle beam, huh? That'll wipe this complex right off the map.
Everything, including the soil, will simply evaporate.
Wow.
The attack will leave just a large crater.
Metal, can you convince them to give me another hour? Even 30 minutes will help.
Understood. I'll try my best.
And I'll try to find and rescue Jamie in that time.
I can't transmit here due to interference from the Snow 9. I'll have to leave the area and then send the message.
Oh man.
No saving.
Also,
Right.
we're on our
Do
own.
it, Metal.
Yeah.
We've been
Gillian,
with Metal
don't
Gear ever
forget.
since the very
30
beginning of the
minutes.
game.
You must get out before then.
I understand.
Gillian, I'm sorry I couldn't help you better.
Don't
did a
worry
damn
about
good
it.
job.
I'll be able to move faster by myself anyway. 30 minutes should be plenty. Go, Metal.
Yes, sir. Don't forget, 30 minutes.
Oh boy. Oh, you notice the footsteps are faster? He's running
Yeah.
out.
That's great.
30 minutes? Oh, this is gonna be tight. That room's the only place left to check. Let's take a look.
Yeah, there's no more use the Metal Gear to advance. Just go.
Yeah.
Fighting time! Do you notice the thing about these insectors is that...
They hop around now.
Yeah, unlike the previous ones, they fake you out. See, I want to hit the corner, then the other corner, they're fast. Also, you're a damn good shot.
It's playing Sunset
Whoa,
Riders
whoa,
the
whoa,
whole
whoa,
time.
whoa! Yeah, but jeez!
God damn.
Wow!
Yeah, this is supposed to be one of the more challenging sections of the game.
Yeah, that was like half your health. Like, they did this to everyone at once. God damn. Ah. Wow.
I'm used to doing this with a justifier.
How many of them are there?
This is really hectic.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes. That was close.
Whew. I wasn't ready for that. They almost got me.
This game.
I love how it
Alright,
analyzes
Let's open the next door.
how damaged you are. It's great.
I hope your health resets for the next
It does.
encounter.
It does.
Okay, because, like, you can't take any hits now. Maybe one if you're lucky.
I'm lucky.
Oh, good.
Doesn't look like there's anything here.
There's talking to myself.
What? Oh, no. Oh. Oh, yeah, well, you're hit.
This is pretty awesome.
Wow. Dude, imagine the bounty you'd collect. You're taking out, like,
I
six
love the
snatchers.
animation of their heads. Like,
Yeah, like, oh. But look how cool this is. You're taking out, like, 10 snatchers in one shot randomly.
Yeah, and we were only fighting like one at most.
Yeah, like, Act 1 concluded with, like, 2 snatchers is too much for you to handle. Now you're just blowing them away. Can you begin to comprehend how much money you make for this?
Except you're paying yourself.
I know, the chief is dead and, in fact, was a snatcher. God damn! At least it's only one at a time. Yeah!
Yeah.
Jeez, these guys are tough. Of course, I didn't exactly expect them to welcome me with open arms. Okay, let's try this next door.
Like I said, this is just like the bonus round of Sunset Riders. But this game was made first.
That's for... Yeah, it's Jamie. Don't shoot. Do not shoot. I think you'll lose. Yeah.
Jamie,
Seems
Nice
like
are you
twist.
alright?
Yeah.
Gillian, you came for me.
Are you hurt?
No, they won't lay a finger on me. Not until the new artificial skin is completed anyway.
Artificial skin research? You?
Gillian, I've got my memory back. All of it.
What happened? Tell me, Jamie.
Get
They
comfy.
said they'd kill him.
Yeah.
They said they'd kill Harry. They forced me. I had to help them with the skin development. They said I had to help them because the professor was ill. wasn't getting any better. Gillian, the engineer Harry, he's our son. He's been living on his own now for 50 years.
Way ahead of you, Jamie.
Jamie, I'm afraid that Harry's...
There was nothing I could do. They forced me, but I can't do it anymore.
That explains,
Jamie!
That explains why she was with the chief
The
earlier.
professor, he just died. He was over 100.
The professor? What? This old man?
Modnar?
Don't you remember? It's Professor Modner.
Huh.
Professor Petrovich Modner.
What? This old man is Modner?
He's been confined here for 3 years now, just
Wow.
to develop the Snatcher's artificial skin. Terrible. Doing that to your own father.
That's brutal.
Whose father? Jamie, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
You really can't remember, can you?
Jamie, tell me. Tell me who I am. What were we doing at the Kremlin?
Are you sure you really want me to, Gillian? It's all so awful, but if you must know, I'll tell you. Try to remain calm, okay? 56 years ago, you and I were involved in a top-secret Soviet project.
Wow.
It was still during the time of the Cold War. The gulf between East and West was as wide as ever. Everybody was worried about nukes. At that point, the world's armies were at their largest ever. Leaders still believed that a strong military meant a strong nation. There were rumors that there would be an agreement to end the production of nuclear weapons. On the other hand, the major powers like the US began to get involved in a space weapons race. But not the Soviets. The conservative despots in the Kremlin had another, completely different idea for gaining military superiority. A horrible plan, something no one else would think of. At that time, the countries of the communist bloc were facing an economic crisis. Popular movements pushing for democracy were springing up all over. Communism itself was facing extinction. Facing pressure from the reformers, the Kremlin began to panic. And that's when that horrible, childish plan was launched.
And that was the Snatcher Project. Replace your enemy's leaders with puppets of your own.
That's
Then you
ridiculous.
control their governments, their economies, take over a country from the
The
inside out.
Lolly-Logo.
Yeah, the Lolly
That's right, Gillian. And to develop these robots, they assembled some of the most brilliant scientific minds from around the world. Some of them were even brought in against their will. At the crux of that development effort was a group called the Frankenstein Project Team. You and I were members of that team, Gillian. It was a 4-person team led by the late Professor Modner here. The robotics expert was Professor Modner himself. His son, Elijah Modner, handled genetics and microbiology. For nanobiology and picobiology, myself. And for behavioral science and psychology, you, Gillian.
They did mention Elijah Modnar
Early
before.
development was carried out at a lab in Novosibirsk.
That kind of makes sense
but was later
that
moved to
a
a secret
psychologist would
facility
become
under the
a
Kremlin.
detective.
Yeah.
At the time, the Glasnost and Perestroika movements were gaining momentum, and they rightly feared for the existence of the program if it should become known. But some of the reformers did learn of the project, and they conspired with the US to block it. Gillian, you were a CIA special agent sent by the United States to infiltrate and sabotage the project.
God damn.
I was CIA?
Yes, and the government knows that. That's why you were assigned to the Junker team.
What? Who am I?
Work on the project continued to go smoothly. But then, on June 6th, 1996, there was that accident. A mysterious explosion at the Chernobyl facility spread a bacterial weapon that was under development there into the atmosphere,
Ugh.
destroying the country and the project.
It was Lucifer Alpha?
Gillian,
I think they're making
was it
allusions
you?
to Chernobyl
Did
and
you
things like
set off that
that.
explosion?
Like, the Russians are just
What?
really bad
You can't be
at
serious.
doing
You think
that kind
I
of thing.
caused the
Because they
catastrophe?
never put enough money towards it. Even though they wanted to
Somehow,
do it.
during the confusion, Professor Modner and our son Harry managed to get picked up by American agents. But we couldn't get out in time, you and I and Elijah. In a shelter below the Kremlin, we entered a cryogenic sleep. Our plan was to sleep there until the toxic effects of the bacteria were safely passed.
And Then 48 years later, 3 years ago, we were discovered by the 17th Special Investigative Force.
But there are 3
Yes,
pods.
but when they
Yeah.
found us, Elijah's pod was already empty.
Ah.
Yep.
Elijah Modner? That guy whose picture was in the church? The one that looks like Random?
That's right, Elijah is alive. Elijah is here and working on the Snatchers.
Or at least was.
Why don't you let me finish your little story?
That voice. He's still alive then?
Who's
Whoa.
there?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Jamie? Ah, yes. And Gillian.
Sounds like Ocelot.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's like the end of Watchmen.
Yeah.
Totally looks like Random.
It's me, Jamie.
Elijah? Is that really you?
Random? No. Not quite.
So, you remember me, do you? I am Elijah Modnar, the only son of Professor Petrovich
I
Modnar.
love that finger
I'm
tapping.
afraid
Yeah.
I've grown somewhat old and
Idle
feeble
animation.
since we last met, however.
Elijah,
Whoa.
why are you doing this?
Just barely
Your
keeping
father,
himself
Professor
alive.
Modner, he passed away a few minutes ago.
What? My father? My father is dead?
Elijah, what happened to you? The Elijah I knew could never do anything like this.
I've changed, Jamie. These 40 years have changed me.
I can't believe it. What happened to you?
What happened to me? Jamie, do I actually have to explain it to you? Jamie, it's you. Your beauty is the cause of all that has come to pass here. 57 years
Love
ago,
triangle.
I
Yep.
was obsessed. With my research, yes. And with you, Jamie. At the time, I was still young, having just graduated with my genetic engineering degree. My father's connections got me on the team, and there, I met you. You were working as my father's assistant. Your beauty, your smile, I was stricken. I saw something in you that I never felt with women of my own country. You warmed my cold, young heart, Jamie. You opened me up, and I couldn't stop my feelings.
Elijah,
Oh, I was so happy. The political situation was crumbling around us, but every day was a joy. I gained my father's trust, and with you there watching over me, I was able to work as hard as I ever have on the project. However, my happiness did not last for long. Gillian, it
Ugh.
was you. You showed up and all was ruined. You arrived and joined our project team. Far from home, Jamie found comfort.
This voice acting
And from the
is
same
great.
land,
Yeah,
your
this guy's got
relationship
weight.
grew quickly. And all I could do
Definitely
was
sounds
stand
grizzled.
by and watch. Jamie and Gillian fell in love, were joined, and even had a child.
Harry.
Even then, my feelings for you only grew stronger. Worried about me, my father tried to have me removed from the project, but I persisted. Jamie, I always wanted to be near you. And then, the democratic movements that had consumed the rest of the Eastern Bloc spread to our country as well. The Cold War was over. The hardliners who had pushed for its development were stripped of power and the project was cancelled. The reformers, trying to cover up the existence of such a crazed project, ordered that all materials related to it be destroyed and that we stand trial for our actions. Jamie and Gillian were to be returned to their homeland. That's about the time that I learned that you, Gillian, that you were a CIA agent, and that you were trying to pass documents on our research to your military. The country had sold us out.
Man, that's not good.
I'm no politician. I couldn't care less about what happened to the country. All I cared about was my research. And Jamie. and I was to lose all of that, everything.